Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Cake Duel with this cute little face. This was sent to me by Sizigi Studios, and is designed by Corey Lee, Ruan Liu, and Hai Tao Mao. You like cake? Your friend also likes cake. Sadly, there isn't enough cake to go around. There's plenty of sheepy, though. Use sheepy to trick your friend into giving you all the cake. Simple, right? It's harder than you think. Cake Duel is the adorable, niche, savage mind game you never knew you needed. Until now. Let me show you how to play. So first off, I'm going to say the box is fun. It opens up and there's all this, I mean, I took all this stuff out, but it would all be in there. So you want to be king of cakes? These are hard times. Cake is scarce, but sheepy are plenty. To fairly distribute the cake, the sheepy are holding a cake duel. General Sheepy, you must deploy your troops wisely to take all of the cakes. So yeah, you want to take cakes from the opponent by bluffing sheepy troop cards. The path to victory is simple. Either take all the opponent's cakes or catch them telling a lie. There is a core deck of 20 cards. Each player gets 4 cards into their hand. Then whoever goes first gets 3 cake tokens, and whoever is second gets 4 tokens. Now, duels are played as a set of individual bouts. The first player to win 3 bouts wins the duel. During a bout, players take turns attacking with sheepy troop cards to steal cakes. The goal of each bout is to either take all the opponent's cakes or catch them telling a lie. So each turn, the active player claims 1 or more attacker cards face down to steal cakes. In response, the other player will claim cards face down to block the cake theft or challenge the attack. The stolen cakes are transferred, both players resupply cards, and the bout continues. So in Cake Duel, all cards are played face down. To make a play, you put 1 or more cards face down in the discard pile and claim what they are. So, player 1 could be like, I'm putting down 2 soldiers. Now, the question is that really 2 soldiers? Claiming is announcing the quantity and the name of the cards played. It can also be a bluff. There are 2 restrictions on claims. You can't lie about the number of cards played. And you can't claim multiple troop names at once. So you can only say 1 type. In this case, 2 soldiers. Now, do not flip claimed cards face up at the end of the turn. So during every turn, the active player makes an attacking claim. Now the opponent will make a blocking claim. Otherwise, they have to pass. If both players pass, the bout ends. Let's say player 2 claims, okay, I'm playing 1 defender face down. You can only claim shield troops that are able to block the attack. Different cards have different sort of like abilities. So the attacking player can only claim cards that are attack cards or magic cards, also special cards. I don't have any on my hand right now. And the defending player can only claim to defend with cards that have the defense symbol on them. Now, after each player makes a claim, the other player always has a chance to call a bluff. If you do so, you say challenge and you flip the cards. So let's say player 2 is like, you're full of shit. I think you're bluffing. Challenge. But there were 2 soldiers. So if the claim was truthful, the claiming player wins. If it was a bluff, the challenging player wins. Now, challenges can only happen immediately after the play is made. If anything else happens after the play is made, like drawing cards or making a play, you immediately forfeit your opportunity to challenge. Now, let's say neither player made a challenge, and they just leave their cards face down. At the end of the turn, resolve the claimed card effects, and the attacker resupplies. So, in this case, if it was really 2 soldiers, I mean it is, but let's say they don't know, each soldier steals a cake. But this player is claiming it's a defender. It is, but we don't know for sure. That blocks an attack. So, basically, player 1 gets to steal 1 cake because the defender blocks it. Because remember, if neither player makes a challenge, then you are both saying, okay, we are trusting that these cards are played as they actually are being claimed to be. And then you just have to play accordingly. So, you transfer the cakes, discard the cards, and then you resupply. You draw up to your hand size, which is usually 4, unless you have a special card that says otherwise. You continue dueling with your remaining cards in your hands. If you have no cards during your turn, it's an automatic pass, but players with no cards can still challenge claims. So it's pretty simple. All you have to do is keep playing those face-down claims. If no challenges are made, you resolve them. The bout is won if somebody takes all the cakes, or if they win a challenge and claim that someone's false and they're right, or when both players no longer have cards to play and have to pass, whoever has more cakes gets one of these trophy tokens. Afterwards, you reset, attacking player gets 3 cakes, blocking gets 4, and whoever wins 3 of these trophies first wins the whole duel. So now let's go through the cards. Since this is a bluffing game, you need to know the cards in order to know what you can bluff. And you have reference cards as well for that when you actually play it. First off, we have the soldier. This guy just steals 1 cake. This card is the wizard. This lets you steal 2 cakes. The archer also lets you steal 1 cake. The defender can block 1 sword attacker from stealing cakes. The scientist can block 1 magic attacker from stealing cakes. Sir Wolfie, at the end of the turn, reveal face up and taunt your opponent. You don't actually... Taunting doesn't actually do anything. This is just like a very mean, like, ha, stupid, this wasn't a real card the whole time. Now, the restriction on Sir Wolfie is you can't play him as Sir Wolfie. You always have to bluff with him. So you have to be like, okay, I'm playing 2 scientists. And then the risk is if they catch you on your bluff, then you lose the bout. And honestly, that's pretty much it. You're just playing cards face down, trying to steal cakes or protect yourself. And if you think somebody's bluffing, you call them out and see if you're right. Otherwise, you always take turns attacking each other, being the attacking player, defending player. There are also special sets of cards. I'm not going to go through all of them because I think it can be kind of fun to discover these on your own. But there's like special cards as well. Like you can, once you've, done the base game a couple times, you can add some cards like Summoner. Name a card, look at an opponent's hand, and steal 2 cakes per copy they have. The Assassin, he just straight up steals 5 cakes, which is very powerful. The Quartermaster, increase your hand size by 1 for the rest of the bout. Lots of different interesting abilities if you want to customize your deck, but honestly, the base set is pretty solid. And that's the game. So here's a good example of a game that's very light, but it doesn't outstay its welcome. I have played so many games where the mechanics are super simple, but the game just drags on, and you just want it to end. But Cake Duel presents its mechanics very clearly. Put down cards, claim that there are certain cards. If they catch you, you lose the bout. Or steal cakes. Immediately, it's pretty engaging and very easy to learn. The presentation is fun. I was pleasantly surprised by the box. I thought that was a cute touch. A lot of games feature this bluffing mechanic of putting cards down against each other and claiming, I'm playing 2 wizards. Oh, really? That sort of thing. But a lot of those games actually never really clicked with me. This one, with how simple it is to understand, caught on pretty quickly. There's always that temptation to challenge, like, are you really playing 2 soldiers, you piece of shit? Even if the consequences are big in terms of you lose the whole bout, you are still always tempted to go, but if I catch you, it's an easy point for me. And since the game is super short, you never feel like you have to play too safe. I feel like in a lot of these bluffing games, you're too afraid of like, oh, because if I lose this, it's a crucial blow. But this is such a light, silly game that sometimes you're just going to be like, you know what? I'm going to challenge you. I think you're full of shit. And that is always fun in these games, to catch people in the middle of a lie. It becomes this fun little game of bluffing and counting the cards and calculating probabilities. Like, okay, if these have been played, is this really what that card is? The special set adds more complicated powers, and while they're interesting, I personally think they're not super balanced, and they kind of muddy up the mechanics. I think they're a welcome inclusion if you want to make the game, have more variety, but I think I actually prefer playing with the base set. I think the biggest problem with the game is oftentimes it can just come down to overly good or bad luck. If you have exactly the right set of attackers in your hand just by luck of the draw, there's no way for your opponent to block because you don't have to bluff. If you just have like 3 soldiers, that's great for you. This is mitigated by the fact, like I've said, that this game is so short. So even if you have shit luck on one encounter, who cares? It won't matter that much in the long run. You're playing very quick rounds. It's not like an hour-long match where every point is so crucial. You can play several rounds of this in a sitting. It's not a mind-blowing game. I don't think it's amazing, but I was pleasantly surprised with this. It's cute on the outside, but it's actually a very mean game on the inside, which I like. And it's surprisingly engaging, even if it is super light and a little swingy with its luck and, oh, I happen to draw the right cards. It doesn't matter because it's just a light, cute game that still lets you be a dick. So, in my book, it was a fun time. This isn't a bad choice at all. It's definitely, worth playing a few rounds.